Hey, this is Mr. Griffin, and you remember those Powerball videos I made a couple weeks ago? And how I think it was a bunch of BS, for lack of a better word, that lotto winners have to reveal themselves except in certain states? Well, what you're about to see is what I'm talking about. This comes from WALB News 10 out of, I believe, Albany, Georgia. I know it's out of Georgia. Check this footage out, and I'll be back with more of my commentary.
At 6.
He got a 3-week-old baby that was just born, and now the baby's not going to be able to. It's not going to be able to know his daddy.
An emotional plea tonight from the mother of a man gunned down in his home overnight in Fitzgerald. The victim, 20-year-old Gregory Birch Jr., recently won a nearly $500,000 lottery prize. His family believes the home invaders were after that money. WAOB News 10's Wright Gazaway is live at the scene. Wright, you had an emotional conversation with Birch's mother and girlfriend.
Ben, I did. I actually spoke with the sheriff about 30 minutes ago. He tells me there are persons of interest, but there's nothing for them to release at this time right now. His girlfriend, though, who was home at the time of that home invasion, shares some frightening details. GBI agents processed this murder scene in Ben Hill County. Just hours earlier, Jasmine Hendricks says a shotgun blew open the door and 3 masked, armed men ran in.
When they came in, he said, "Don't do it, bro. Don't do it in front of my kids." He said, "Please don't do it in front of my kids and my old lady. Please don't do that, bro. Please don't." He said, "I'll give you my bank card."
Hendricks says Birch threw his pants to the robbers. She's sure they were after some of the $400,000 he had won.
Ever since he hit the lottery, we kept getting calls, text messages, all that saying, "Be careful because people are out for him to rob him."
Hendricks says the men shot Birch shortly after realizing his wallet wasn't in those pants, killing him instantly.
They took my man from me. They took my son, daddy, from him. Both of my sons.
I couldn't live with myself if I don't know what happened to my child.
Tonight, Hendricks and Birch's mother begging for justice.
That's all I ain't worried about nothing about the house, no nothing. I want to know who killed him. That's what I'm worried about.
And I love CJ. I just want somebody to know. Whoever have any information, please contact the police department. I just beg you, please. He didn't deserve to be gunned down like this in his own home.
Both the victim's mother and girlfriend tell me he was a good guy. In fact, he had just spent about $4,000 on Christmas gifts for kids in the community here. GBI agents are still on scene processing this house as they try to piece together this investigation. For now, though, reporting live in Ben Hill County, Wright Gazaway, WAOB News 10.
This session, Georgia lawmakers are considering a bill to allow lottery winners to remain anonymous, but at a cost.
And that state Senate bill would let winners keep their names private if they give 25% of the winnings to the Lottery for Education account or another tax-exempt organization. That bill was introduced as the Powerball jackpot reached around.
Okay. You just saw the story. And on a side note, is it just me, or did the girlfriend have very little to no emotion? Now, I know some will defend her and say she was in shock, but if I was a police officer or an investigator, I would be looking into her, because no way she's going to be that composed to do an interview hours after her man was murdered. For those of you that just saw that, basically, they said the name. His name was Gregory Birch Jr. He had just won the lotto just last month, which was only $500,000. But many believe this was the catalyst for him being killed. But this is what I was talking about with those lottery videos. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is why I don't believe they should have to come forward with this. The only people that have any business knowing your identity when you win a lottery prize, especially one that high, or God forbid you was one of the ones that won a piece. I mean, look at those white folks down in Tennessee. See, they haven't been able to live the same since they won that money. That's why I think it's BS that they have to come out with their identity. Because you know everybody is going to come out of the woodwork to try to get a piece of that money. Family that don't really speak to you that much. People that were so-called friends back in the day. All types of people coming with all kinds of financial schemes to separate you from your money. This is why I believe in all states that play any type of lottery, there should be a provision that allows you to collect anonymously. And you don't have to reveal your identity. I think, and I'm going to try to remember, don't hold me to this, Delaware, North Dakota, South Carolina, Maryland, Ohio, and there's one more, Kansas. They're the only states in the union that allow you, that play lottery, that plays lottery games, that allow you to collect anonymously and you never have to reveal your identity. Arizona also allows you to collect anonymously. However, after 90 days after collecting, your identity becomes public. And which, I mean, granted, that's better than what we got going now in the other 40-some states, but I don't think you should have to come out at all. Only people that have any business knowing who you are is your banker, your financial advisor, your lawyer, the lottery officials, Uncle Sam, and any other tax collector. But that's it. They the only ones that have any business knowing you got that kind of money. Everybody else, they ain't got no business knowing. None whatsoever. And this is what I was talking about, because I believe that's why he was killed. I mean, only 20 years old, too. Excuse me. And that's just messed up. I mean, it makes you not even want to win the lottery because of stories like this. But honestly, I think that should be the law across the board, because when you put their names out like that, you are putting their lives at risk. You're putting their life at risk. You're putting their safety at risk. Not to mention public safety at risk. Because when it comes to money, people can be pretty ruthless and will do anything. And that's the catch-22. If you give them what they want, they'll just mess with you again and again. And if you don't, they're going to try to up the ante to try to intimidate you to give them what they want. And plus, these got to be the dumbest crooks alive. Who the hell, if you're smart, is going to keep the money in the house? You would have to be the dumbest crook alive to believe that. But you'd be surprised how many of them believe that law winners keep keep a stash in the house. Not the smart ones, they don't. But this story is a prime example why I think there should be a law allowing winners to collect anonymously. If it's above, now if it's below $5,000, like $500, $150, no one's going to care about that really. Unless they just drop dead broke. No one's going to care about that. Fine. But if it's past $5,000, you should be able to collect anonymously. And this story is exactly why. Anyway, that's all I got to say on this subject. I'm out. I'm Mr. Griffin.